Hey, Ray, I want to ask, we understand that when it comes to sports, really when it probably comes to life, you're probably the greatest motivator of all time. I've heard many guys listen to speeches and say, dog, I'd run through a wall for Ray Lewis. I'd run through a brick wall for Ray Lewis. Outside of your leadership aspect, which you exuded so many times in a successful football career, what other aspects and other things that you learned when playing in the NFL has helped you on this show and helped you kind of galvanize everybody and kind of, I guess, keep everybody sane to an extent and keep yourself sane?
Yeah, so this is really good, right? Because like the leadership side, right, is the thing you're explaining, right? The forwardness, right? The upfront, the being out front, the one that raised his hand first. But then the things that help me with this show, and Rob understands this, is the servanthood side of team sports. Bro, there are some people you're in their life not to make them be a better football player or a better basketball player. You're in their life to make them a better man, to serve them, bro. And I'm telling you, like, people ask me this all the time. What's my greatest achievement in football, right? Other than winning Super Bowls and stuff. And it was actually the service that I was able to give men, to give them my life, to give them my home, to have cooked meals, to free agents who may not make the team and things like that. So for me, man, the leadership side was one thing, but me just wanted to make sure everybody was okay and had a fair chance was kind of bigger than anything for me. Yeah, great question, though. Great question.
For me, I feel the same way about that, Ray. I think one of my greatest joy was just taking a guy just getting into the league and trying to find their way and just give him a little piece of advice. Because I remember when I first got in the NBA, the first person that took me on his wing was Otis Thorpe and then Dream. And these guys were like, yo, this is what you need to do to be professional. We didn't even talk about the game because you know you got to do, your job. But the part when you step off the field or off the court, how to, represent yourself, your family, because he says, a lot of times we forget it's not about the name on the front of the jersey. It's about the name on the back of the jersey, because that name is going to stay with us forever. The front of the jersey, it might change from time to time, but that name on the back is always going to be the same. And so that was what they said. You got to represent yourself on the court. You got to be professional, and you got to learn the business, because if you don't learn the business will eat you up and spit you out and cheat you. And you got to learn the business so it doesn't cheat you. So, but man, I that's one of the things about you, man. And even when I go speak to people, I listen to your motivational speeches, man. I'm not even gonna lie, because I try to steal stuff from you, man. and I try to, but it ain't the same, dog. It ain't the same. Your energy and the way you can communicate with, I don't care if it's a 2-year-old, 12-year-old, 20-year-old, man, it's just across the board, man. So you are so inspiring me when you give your speeches, man. I just sit back and I just listen and like, damn, I wish I could do what he does when it comes to motivating people. I can motivate myself, but I can't, it's hard to do what you do, man. So what my question is was there someone like that for you that just straight motivated you with their words and how they came across and just everything and that what you do basically?
Yeah, it was funny, man, because it was a not so cool thing, man. Kids have a way of being rude, being really just like, kids, if you got any dysfunction, our homeboys, they're gonna point it out.
Yeah.
And I had a bad stuttering problem.
Seriously? Right? I did too.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. I wouldn't talk for a long time when I was a little kid growing up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Rob, it was funny because I used to stutter. And then as I stuttered, when I used to tell stories, kids used to say, shut up, you can't talk, right? And then my mom, she would slap me like really hard and say, stop. And she'd say, start over. Right. And so I started to do that. But then something that happened one day, I'll never forget, the few TV channels that we had, I started to become so close to the TV, and I would read people's lips and I would watch the way people speak, and I would practice that. Wow. So I would sit there in front of the television and my mom would be like, move back on the TV, you're going to go blind.
They all yelled at us when we were kids. We all got that speech.